Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Two alleged robbers shot dead in St. Catherine police shootout. Two men were shot and killed by the police during an alleged robbery attempt at a bar on Creamy Corner in Above Rock, St. Catherine early this morning. A third man is in custody. The incident happened around 2:15. It is reported that the presence of the men in a motor car arose suspicion of residents who called the police. Eyewitnesses claim that the men stole gaming boxes and a sum of cash before they were challenged by the police. According to residents, there have been frequent robberies in the area. Spanish Town Hospital suffers water damage as a result of heavy rains. The Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine was affected by heavy rainfall caused by Hurricane Ian yesterday. Regional Director of the Southeast Regional Health Authority, Errol Green, told reporters that the hospital was affected by ponding and leaks. This was despite drain cleaning and other works having been carried out in anticipation of the hurricane season.
The hospital suffered a little bit of water damage. There was quite a bit of ponding in most of the public areas of the hospital, even though the drains would have been cleaned prior to the rains and they would have been cleaned during the rains. The water was much too much. Water coming from the public drains on the roads on the outskirts of the hospital was more than the drains within the hospital could have managed, and there was some amount of ponding taking place. I wouldn't call it flooding. We also had leaks in several areas of the hospital. We looked at them. We tried to put things in place to fix as best as we could during the rains those areas that could be fixed. But we do have some leaking in the wards, in the accident and emergency areas, and there was some leaking in one of the operating theaters.
Committal hearing for Shabdan set for October 13. A committal hearing and bail application has been set for October 13 for music producer Shabdan, who is charged with 3 counts of murder. The producer and his co-accused Tadir Clark were on Monday remanded when they appear in the St. James Parish Court. Shabdan, whose given name is Linval Thompson, is represented by Donahue Martin and Tom Tavares Pinson, while Mr. Clark is represented by Kedin Coleman. Mr. Thompson and Mr. Clark were charged in June following an investigation into a shooting in Rose High, St. James. 2 men and a woman were killed on May 25th when gunmen drove into the community and opened fire on residents. 2 others, including a 15-year-old, were injured in the incident. Hanover police list wanted men. The Hanover police have listed 10 men who are wanted for various crimes within the division. The wanted men are Ricardo Palmer, otherwise called Richie, who is wanted for murder; Eric Clark, otherwise called Legacy, whose last known address is Cashel, Hanover, he is wanted for murder; Vernon Shearer, otherwise called Van Dam, whose last known address is Upper Rock Spring, Hanover, he is wanted for abduction, rape, illegal possession of firearm, and assault at common law. Casey Castle, otherwise called Castle, whose last known address is Guava Walk in Unity Hall, St. James, he is wanted for shooting with intent. Ricardo Robinson, otherwise called Travis, R. Trauma, whose last known address is Smithfield District in Cascade, Hanover, he is wanted for wounding with intent and illegal possession of firearm. Nicholas Stevens, whose last known address is Islington, St. Mary, and Mount Pillar in Sandy Bay, Hanover, he is wanted for rape. O'Brien Thomas, who frequents Hanover and Westmoreland, he is wanted for rape. Glenn Rickard, otherwise called Brown Dog, of Cove District, Hanover, he is wanted for rape. Michael Thomas, otherwise called Tricker, of Prosper Road, Lucy, Hanover, he is wanted for wounding with intent. Devon Recon, otherwise called Tupac, of Police Hill in Cousins Cove, Hanover, he is wanted for wounding with intent. The men are urged to turn themselves in to the Lucy Police by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, September 28. Anyone with information that can assist the police in locating these men is asked to contact the Lucy Police at 876-956-2304 or Crime Stop at 311. Kingston man charged after breaking into warehouse. Lawmen assigned to the Kingston Central Police Division arrested and charged 21-year-old O'Keefe Landren of Hanover Street, Kingston, with warehouse breaking and larceny following an incident on George's Lane in the parish on Friday, September 24. Reports are that about 7:45 p.m., a report was made to the police about men breaking into a warehouse. Lawmen responded and accosted Landren, who was seen leaving the building. Checks were made to the building, and it was observed that the padlock was damaged and a large quantity of lumber was removed. Several equipment were also seen, as though they were displaced from the original location. Landren was subsequently charged. His court date is being finalized. St. James Police nab one of Paris's most wanted men. The St. James Police have arrested and charged one of its most wanted men. He is 25-year-old Akeem Bailey. Bailey, otherwise called Stommer, was wanted after he was captured in CCTV footage that went viral on social media, robbing gas pump attendants armed with a handgun, the police stated. Bailey was apprehended by the police during a high-level intelligence-driven operation in the community of Albion last Friday, following the launch of Operation Relentless 2. He was charged with robbery with aggravation on Monday, September 26. The police say Bailey is also a suspect in connection with a string of armed robberies committed at service stations, a hairdressing parlor, and gambling houses in St. James, St. Anne, Trelawney, and Hanover. Further reports from the police are that an associate of Bailey was also arrested after he was held in a stolen motor vehicle on September 19. His identification is being withheld pending an identification parade. The police are urging anyone who may have been a victim to contact their Paris CIB branch or call Crime Stop at 311. JPS teams hampered by weather as restoration efforts continue. The Jamaica Public Service said on Tuesday that some teams have been hampered by weather conditions in southern and eastern parishes, which could delay power restoration in some parts. The power company said that Clarendon, which has been heavily impacted, could experience prolonged outages. Work has been delayed by flooding, block roads, and lightning activity. Particularly in Clarendon, roadways leading to affected communities have been blocked, namely the access road via Pedro River to Inland Town and other corridors. Residents should prepare for prolonged outages even as crews do their best to overcome the significant hurdles, JPS stated. The energy company added that in St. Catherine and Manchester, several poles were uprooted and washed out, and JPS teams face significant challenges due to ongoing weather interruptions while trying to carry out restoration. They reported also that in Wall St. Andrew, teams attending to restore Borden Hill were also forced to halt due to deteriorating conditions. Crews have worked far into the night where possible. JPS is asking for patience and understanding as teams do their best to push ahead with work to restore power to their communities, JPS stated.
We have been responding and we intend to continue our response to ensure that the traveling public can go about its business in as normal a way as is possible, given some of the issues that would have happened over the last 24 hours along our main road network. That Zion Hill Road is just one, and so it shows that we are out and we are cleaning and clearing as long as we are able so to do without putting ourselves, meaning our team members, and our partners, meaning equipment operators, owners, at any risk. We are going through and we are going to be doing that which is necessary to ensure that persons, their lives return to some degree of normalcy in the shortest possible time.
Manhunt on for suspects in St. Anne arson attack. The police have launched a manhunt for 3 suspects behind an arson attack in St. Anne on Sunday night. 2 men sustained severe burns when armed thugs invaded their home in Freehill. Reporters were informed that about 9:30 p.m., 3 armed men entered the dwelling and tied up the 2 occupants. The gunmen then set the house ablaze and fled. It's understood that one of the victims was able to free himself and his relative. However, the 2 sustained burns as the house was engulfed in flames. The injured men were taken to hospital, where one of them was admitted in serious condition. The house was destroyed. Investigators are probing allegations that a land dispute may have led to the attack. They say they are following strong leads. Consumption taxes for August due September 30. Tax Administration Jamaica TAJ is reminding business persons that consumption taxes for the month of August are due on Friday, September 30. The taxes, which are to include GCT, SCT, TCT, and GART, are in keeping with the requirement for these taxpayers to make their monthly consumption tax return and payments on the last working day of the month after the end of the taxable period. Consumption tax filed and paid after last working day of the month will be considered late and necessary. Penalties and interest charges will be applied. Taxpayers are reminded that although they must file online, they have several payment options at their disposal. These options include online payments at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm using a valid credit card or other payment products with credit card features such as Vista debit card. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell